All righty. Let's get it rocking and rolling. What's up, DJ? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday. Let me lower this music here. We changed our call to 10 a.m. just because we want to be conscious of our families in California and in the West Coast that want to join us. So they don't have to be up at 6 a.m. They can be up at 7 and join us if they want. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for giving us a little piece of your life and your time, which is the most valuable asset that you have. My name is Coach Gabe. And with that being said, I want to celebrate somebody's life here before we begin. And it is my brother, Mehdi Cohen, that is live to us from South Carolina, Greensville, South Carolina. He's turning 33 years young. So if you, what's your favorite number, brother, before we sing happy birthday?
28.
28. Why don't you drop some 28s in the chat to bless our brother on his birthday? Human beings strive for two things. They look for connection and they look for community. And we have a community here of people that are all around the world, actually, all around the United States. And I want you guys to help me unmute yourselves, get your voices ready, drop some 28s in the chat, and we're going to sing happy birthday to our brother today. Because if it was your birthday, you would want everybody to sing for you. All right, so don't be shy.
It depends how good your singing is.
And we're going to sing happy birthday. We're going to get this call.
I'm not the best singer to sing now.
Here tonight. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday
to you. A little faster.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday to
you. All right. Happy birthday, brother. We love you. We bless you. And we hope you have a special day and that all your dreams can come true in this new year, brother.
Thank you guys so much, man. It means a lot.
Awesome, guys. So you can go ahead and mute yourselves again if you don't mind. Today, we are rocking and rolling with our Saturday call. Every Saturday, 10 a.m., we're bringing fire, we're bringing heat. And today's call is called Authentic Leadership 101. Authentic Leadership 101. And the title is, or the topic rather, is authenticity. All right. So we're going to speak about authenticity. And before we dive in to our call here today, we want to review a little bit about what we spoke about last week. Last week, we spoke about true leadership defined. This week, we're going to look at authenticity. So if you were here last week, I believe a lot of you were saying that the call brought you some value and that you enjoyed it. So my challenge to you is to invite somebody next week to benefit you, to build you, to help somebody else, because leadership is the core of everything. Leadership is one of the, if not the most important thing that we can all learn about and dive into, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of any of that. Leadership is the same across the board. All right. And we teach 4 different areas of leadership, or 4 different pillars, which is the first. You need to be able to lead yourself. That's the first step in leadership, is lead yourself. First pillar. Second pillar, what is it? Drop it in the chat. If you know what the second pillar of leadership is, drop it in the chat. Let's see. Happy Saturday, Water Gang. What's up, douche?
Vision.
Join. There it is. Let's see if anyone. DJ Q said vision. Absolutely. That is the second pillar of leadership, is vision. The third is mission. Once you have your purpose, once you have a vision for your life, the third pillar is have a mission. It's the how. How are you going to go and take the island? You already know you're on the boat. You already know you got to burn the boats, but how are you strategically going to apply the mission so that you can complete the vision? All right. And the last one is then you can invite others on the journey with you. So number 4 is lead others. All right. Number 1, lead yourself. Number 2, establish a vision. Number 3, mission. Number 4, lead others. Leaders invite people on a journey. They don't tell them what to do. All right. So we just wanted to always recap that before we get rocking and rolling. So like I said before, today's call is on authenticity. When you guys hear the word authentic, what do you think about? Drop it in the chat. When you hear the word authentic, what do you think about? Or who do you think about? You think about anybody specifically when you hear the word authentic, right? Because we live in a world where everyone is flossing and flaunting and being this person on social media. But when you meet them in person, you're like, this guy's just an asshole. You know, like I didn't think, or maybe he was just having a bad day. Who knows? You know, we'll have some compassion. But Yaya said real, sincere, no masks, right? Take off your face diaper. All right, no masks. So we're saying, what do you think about when you hear the word authentic? Straight up, uncut, no lies, someone real, said Remy, right? How many weeks left in the year, Gabe? 17 weeks, brother. Sorry, I didn't see what you wrote on the chat. There's 17 weeks left. How are you going to finish? So real, raw, genuine, transparency. That's a huge one. All right. Deuce Trey didn't read my notes, but she knows there's something good. Real, pure. All of those are words that you think about when you hear the word authentic, right? Honest, genuine, empathetic, compassion, being truly who you are when no one is watching. You got 2 out of 3, Deuce Trey. The same man in the stage and off of the stage. All of those are great ways to describe authenticity. Now I want you to tell me, who is a leader that you respect that is authentic? It could be a sports athlete. It can be a politician. Hopefully not, but we're not getting into politics here. It could be a church leader. It could be a mosque. It could be, who do you respect and who do you see as somebody that is authentic? Jesus. Nick Teixeira. Who else do you? Tony Robbins. Oh, fantastic. All right. So I'm going to give you guys, before we break it down, 3 characteristics of what authentic leadership looks like. All right. So we're going to dive in here. The reality is we live in a world of social media where everybody's trying to portray something they're not, or some people are being authentic. Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. If you guys have never studied and listened to Jim Rohn's tapes, he was actually the mentor of Tony Robbins. So you should YouTube him. His voice is a little funny and it might annoy you, but he's awesome. Hey guys, you got to read Think and Grow Rich 24 times. If you only read it once, so he taught Tony Robbins everything that Tony Robbins knows. So if you love Tony Robbins, look at the guy that taught Tony Robbins because he's awesome as well. Gabe, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So we're going to look at 3 characteristics of how you define authenticity, because it is something that I've been thinking about and I've been like kind of hesitant to talk about this, but I really just want to dive in and I want your help. I want you to engage. I want you to write some comments. I want you to unmute yourself and work with me here during these next 22 minutes that we have, and we're done right at 10:30. All right. D McCoy is in the building. D McCoy, my boy from North Carolina. All right. LeBron James, my father. Wow. That's a huge one. How many of you guys, drop a 3 in the chat if your father was authentic? Drop a 3 in the chat. Maybe you didn't have an authentic father. You know, that's okay too. 23. Beautiful, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about as the first point of a characteristic of authentic leadership is authentic leaders are transparent and they're vulnerable. I'll give you an example. Hey guys, you know, to be honest with you, I didn't feel like running this call today. That's being vulnerable. That's being transparent. Why do you think that is important in an authentic leader? Why don't you unmute yourselves or drop it in the chat? Why do you think being vulnerable and being transparent is so important in authentic leadership?
I'll unmute.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I
What a
think
gentleman.
that
I love DJ Q.
I think it gives people permission to be real. If we only show a strong face, that isn't real, because there's so many days that we have to show up when we're feeling down or when we don't really feel like it, but we do it anyway. And so when you are vulnerable and you're honest, you give other people permission to do the same. And it also opens up a huge bridge to trust. You can trust that in a good day and a bad day, the leader is still going to show up.
100%. Spot on. You can trust that in a good day or a bad day, the leader is still going to show up. The leader, it creates trust. Alexis said, as a leader, you cannot fake it until you make it. That is the biggest lie. If you think you can fake it till you make it, you need to check yourself again. That's not authentic leadership 101, which is the title of today's call. DJ Q, go ahead. I got here. Yaya said it helps release fears. So it helps release fears that people have because, and Carla said, because people want to connect. So if they know that you're vulnerable, if they know that you're transparent, they know they can, that you're not trying to be perfect, that you're okay with not being okay. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, I was going to say that vulnerability kind of sets the tone and sets the example. You know, as a leader, you want to be vulnerable. I want to help gain your trust, and it's kind of what Louisa said. But that, you know, I just had it. What I said. What did I just say? Helping me vulnerable. What I just said? Damn, I forgot. But yeah, set the example. That's what I said.
Set the example. Absolutely. Fabio said, because you come off personable and approachable and make everyone around you feel confident to open up to you. DJ said, vulnerability builds connection. So I have a question for you. Is it hard for you to be vulnerable? Yes or no? Drop it in the chat if you want to be transparent, if you want to be honest, if you want to be an authentic leader. Is it hard for you to be vulnerable? No, I'm a Pisces. No, said my wife. Yes, said Scorpio Jimena. Yes, said DJ. Fantastic, you know? C, said Yaya. So this is a great question, especially for men, right? Men don't cry, or men don't show their emotions, or we can't say that we're weak. That is all a lie. When you're an authentic leader, we're talking about authentic leadership 101, you are vulnerable. You're like, hey, I'm not feeling well, but I'm still going to show up, right? It can be hard for me at times, said Kevin. Mehdi said, yes, it's hard for me to be vulnerable. Carla said, no, it's not. Fantastic. Awesome, guys. That's great. One thing I want you to know is when a leader is vulnerable, it allows the other person to get to know the leader intimately. So by you being vulnerable, you're opening up the door to allow people to get to know you, who you really are. Truly, not who you pretend to be on your social media or on your story, right? So by you being vulnerable, you're allowing others to get to know you intimately. And that's powerful. Vulnerability has become my superpower. I usually don't show my emotions, said John Lopez. Yes, it is. I don't want to lose credibility nor come off as unsure. I'm working on being more transparent. Fantastic, guys. That's awesome. What's up, Miles? Welcome to the call. So I want to give you guys the second characteristic of an authentic leader. You ready? Louisa Crane actually said it. Authentic leaders lead from the front. They are impeccable with their lives and with their word. They show up when they say they're going to show up. They're actually always on time, right? So an authentic leader, the second point is leads from the front. They're the first to help. They're the first to say, hey, let's do it together. That's why when people call me boss at a restaurant, I say, don't call me boss, brother, man, call me coach, right? The difference between a leader and a boss is the leader says, hey, let's go together. Let's go beside me. Let's go. I'm going to lead from the front. I'm going to show you how to get there. A boss says, go and get up the mountain, figure it out. Buy a map, ask somebody. A leader says, I've already been up the mountain. Let me show you which is the quickest trail to get to the top. That's the difference between a leader and a boss. And you can't call yourself a leader if you're not producing other leaders. That is the single most important measure of leadership, guys, that we teach here is You are a leader when you are producing other leaders. You cannot title yourself a leader if you are not producing other leaders. We spoke about it last week. We said, man, that was a powerful call, but did the call empower you? Man, that was a powerful sermon, but did the preacher teach you how to prepare a powerful sermon, right? Man, that was a great concert, but did you learn how to write music from that person, right? So that is the most important part of leadership. Louisa said, a leader is willing to share his lessons from his failures. We will be known by our fruit. Absolutely. So this first point, if you just joined us, is an authentic leader is transparent and vulnerable. The second point is an authentic leader leads from the front, right? Because a leader understands that leading by example looks like them leading themselves first. So if I lead myself first, then it makes it easier for me to lead others, because I'm not going to tell you to do something that I didn't do. I'm not going to tell you to do anything that I haven't done, right? So that makes it easy for you to lead your team. For example, a head basketball coach, right? The head basketball coach is responsible for the wins and the losses, but he is authentic. They're not going to pay a coach $4 million a year if they're not authentic. Do you agree? If you're the coach of a soccer team, the US soccer team, they went to the Olympics, do you think that that head coach lacks authenticity? Absolutely not. Anybody that is a head coach in a sport is authentic. They show up when they need to show up, they lead their team, and they take responsibility if their team wins or loses. It falls on the leader. That's what leading from the front looks like. Leads from the front. An authentic leader leads from the front. He won't just tell you to do something without that person doing it first. You guys ready for the third characteristic? This one is probably my favorite, because I believe it's the one where a lot of us have room for improvement. What is the root of leadership? Birthday boy Mehdi, you cannot answer it in the chat. What is the root of leadership? Drop it in the chat. We're speaking about authenticity. What does authentic leadership 101 look like? So I'll ask you guys a question. Ready? If you were going to plant a little seed, right, and you were going to grow it to a tree, and you could pick only one trait to place inside of that seed to help that seed grow, right? You're going to plant a tree and you have a little seed in your hand, but you can inject that seed with one trait. What trait would you pick? It's a good example, right, man? I thought about it earlier talking to Mehdi. So if you were going to plant a tree and you could pick one trait to insert into that seed so that it could sprout and create a forest, what trait would you pick? The root of leadership. Let's see. Service. Love it. Perseverance. Love it. Determination. All right. Honesty. Great. Ability to grow deep roots. Honesty. Fantastic. All of those are great. All of those are awesome. The root of leadership is discipline. Is discipline. Is consistency. That's the third characteristic for today of authentic leadership. If I lack consistency, am I an authentic leader? Yes or no? If I tell you guys, hey guys, we got a great call on Saturday. It's going to be super fire every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And I show up at 10:08 and I'm like, hold on, guys, I got to put on my shirt. Hey guys, hold on, man. The Zoom is not working. Is that authentic leadership? But if every Saturday for the next 12 months at 9:45, the Zoom call is open, the IG is live, and we're ready and we're rocking, we're rolling, that proves consistency. That proves discipline. And that is the third characteristic and measure of authenticity and an authentic leader is discipline and consistency.
That's also lying.
That's also lying. Absolutely. Now that's being late and lazy. Absolutely. So discipline and consistency. When you're an authentic leader, you are consistent, doing the little things consistently over and 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 over. Why? Because repetition is the mother of skill. If you're a talented individual, you're really, really talented. You have all these ideas. Your IQ was 148, almost genius, right? But you lack consistency and you lack skill. You're not an authentic leader. Hasta que den fruto. We're bringing in the Spanish here on a sábado, live to you from Arlington, Virginia. DJ Q, you want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw you unmute yourself. So guys, that is, in my opinion, the most important mark of authentic leadership is this person that I'm learning from? Is this person that I'm following? Is this person that I'm trusting to lead me towards the island? I could drown and die, right? Is this person disciplined? Are they consistent? Right? That is authentic leadership 101. I was talking to Mehdi earlier, and I want to use him as an example because not only because it's his birthday, it's because it's amazing. Mehdi, why don't you share a little bit since how you learned Spanish? So Mehdi is from Morocco, but an example of discipline and consistency. If you hear this guy speak Spanish, he sounds like he was born in El Poblado of Medellin, Antioquia, Colombia. He was able to learn the accent, not being born in Colombia, being from Morocco. He was able to learn through consistency how to pronounce the words like someone that is born in Colombia. And that is an example of consistency. And now you hear him speak Spanish and you literally think he's from Colombia, and he's not. So you want to share a little bit about that journey, Mehdi? How did you, like, what did you do just briefly to be able to learn a different language? Just share a little bit about that characteristic of discipline and consistency.
Thank you, bro. I mean, it was the will that I had to want to learn it, because when I came here to the US, you know, I had a struggle to even learn English. And then in school, I was starting seeing like the Spanish community, how strong they were. And even though they were in America, they were not speaking English. So I was like, what? How do they do that, you know? And just to hear the Spanish was super intriguing to my ears. Like, I loved how fast it sounded. Like, it was just like, oh man, it sounds so good. So that puts me in that what created the will that I wanted to learn. And I created friends. All my friends became Colombian. So literally I was like a parrot. I would just, a parrot, you know, I would just repeat. I didn't even know what I was saying. But then when I repeat it, you know, gordo, gordo. And then he'd look at me like, you don't have an accent. You just say it. I'm like, I don't know, you know. Then I would just repeat it, like you just said. And then it got to a point where I'm saying it and I'm like, hey, what gordo means? Oh, it's fat. Oh, okay. So now I could relate something to it. But it was just that will, and then I'm still learning, you know, as I go. Like, I ask questions because now I'm in that point. I can hold a conversation and still tell you, hey man, what was that word? Oh, what's that? And it just adds more stuff to my vocab. So I never stop learning. I'm still learning till this day. And I think that's one of the key factors, is that will, because, you know, most people even ask me, who taught you Spanish? And I'm like, well, nobody taught me. I learned Spanish because my friend that supposedly taught me, he doesn't know English. He doesn't know Arabic. So, you know, it was something that I was able to embody because I wanted. And guys, it helped me so much. So whatever skill you learn, you will realize how much it would benefit your life, because now I'm able to hold conversation with Spanish people, with like Colombian people. Some Colombian thinks I am denying my my bloodline. Like, nah, man, you're just Colombian. He's saying you're not, man. That's, you know, negando su patria. So it's like, it was just a part of, you know, being consistent. People used to make fun of me, bro. And to me, they were laughing with me. They were not laughing at me because I was the one that was learning, you know. And some people that was making fun of me don't even know good English now, and they still struggling to learn English. So it was a journey, bro.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, boy. That's just an example that I wanted to give you guys on consistency and discipline, which is the third characteristic that we're reviewing here. There's many characteristics about authentic leadership. I just wanted to give you guys 3 because I don't want to overwhelm you. But by somebody learning, think about if you were born in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? Both of your parents are born in North Carolina. You're from Raleigh and you learn Portuguese or you learn Mandarin. That is something that requires dedication, consistency, hours of work. But if you do it, it's going to be a phenomenal skill that you're going to have for the rest of your life. But it won't happen without repetition. You have to do it repeatedly, consistently, with discipline over and over and over and over and over again. That's why athletes get paid the millions of dollars that they get paid. You guys think that they get paid that because they're great entertainment. They get paid what they get paid because of their discipline. Maybe you've never heard that before, but athletes get paid the amount of money that they get paid because of the discipline that's required to achieve the level that they're at. And in your life, if you want to see better results, if you want to see whatever it is that you're looking for, it's going to require a higher level of discipline. It's going to require you to tap into somebody that you need to become to achieve that leader. There is a leader that lives inside each and every person on this planet. Some water the seed and it grows and they produce fruit and they have a big team and people follow them because they are disciplined and they're great leaders, and then some don't. So in summary, I'll give you the 3 points again that we covered here today on authenticity. What is an authentic leader? An authentic leader is transparent. An authentic leader is vulnerable. That was the first point. The second, an authentic leader leads from the front through service. They're here to serve, not to be served, right? They lead from the front. They're saying, let's go, let's do it together. And the third is an authentic leader is disciplined and an authentic leader is consistent. If you're not consistent, you got to ask yourself, why am I not being consistent? Who can I find? What resources can I look for that can help me become more consistent? What video can I watch? What YouTube can I look at? What coach can mentor me? Who can I pay to help me? Whatever it is to get better. So before we close, I want to know which one of these 3 characteristics do you feel you can improve upon? Is it the first one, being vulnerable? That'd be number 1, drop it in the chat. Is it the second one? Is it hard for you to lead from the front? Maybe you don't even know how to lead, number 2. Or is it, I need help with discipline? That's where a lot of people need help with. Number 3. I want to hear from y'all. Mehdi said number 1. Remy said 3, discipline and consistency. Kevin said discipline and consistency. Consistency, said Fabio. Discipline for me, said Luisa. Discipline, said Jimena. Discipline and consistency. Absolutely. The only quick little gift I'll give you is give yourself small tasks. Don't try to say, this week I'm going to work out 7 days a week. No, say this week I'm going to work out 4 days and I'm going to run 1 mile for 4 days and then crank it up. Give yourself small little goals that you can achieve because success is progress. Success is progress. I closed my first sale in an adjunct. Wow. That's going to bring you confidence. That's going to help you. So in the process of building discipline, find somebody that's more disciplined than you and ask them for some advice. Find someone. That's an example. If I'm struggling with discipline, I'm going to look for someone that can maybe give me a tip or a tool or guide me and say, hey, this worked for me. Maybe it can work for you. Maybe not. I don't know. Does that help, guys? If you found some value in this call, drop a 33 in the chat. My favorite number is 3, but Mehdi's turning 33. So 3 and 3 is 33. So drop a 33 in the chat if you learned something here today. Next Saturday, 10 a.m., we'll be back. Production of leaders training. You are a leader when you are producing other leaders. I love you guys. God bless you. Go out and have fun today. Prospect somebody, connect with somebody, be a friend to somebody, smile to a stranger, hug a stranger. If you want, if you're not all freaked out about this whole world we live in. And I'll see you guys next Saturday at 10 a.m. Much love.